फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello and welcome to the Cricket Next YouTube channel. We are here with a special preview of the first ODI between India and South Africa. Both the teams are playing their first ODI after their World Cup, respective World Cup losses. India lost in the final, whereas South Africa lost the semi-final match against Australia. And this is the time for reboot, so to say, because everybody is looking forward to the next Champions Trophy and the upcoming World Cup, which will be in 2027. But before that, we have these bilateral series, and this is, as I said, the first ODI after the World Cup, and South Africa has won the toss and they have chosen to bat first. To talk more about this series, this match, and everything about cricket on this tour, we have K. Srinivas Rao and Chetan Narula. Hi Shini, hi Chetan. Shini, we'll start with
I
you. My very first question. ODI series right after the World Cup. We just had a T20I series, which will now, after the ODI, we'll have the Test series. These two series are really important considering we have a T20 World Cup and we have an ongoing World Test Championship. Now, a three-match ODI series in दोनों के बीच में, is it an inconsequential ODI series, or do you see it having any importance considering we have a Champions Trophy and we have to rebuild a young team?
No, it's it's going by that weird rule book that needs a desperate change. क्योंकि हमने tour करना है, so we need to play tests, we need to play some amount of ODIs, we need to play some amount of T20s, which becomes sort of a dated ritual which people don't really want to move on from. You ask me the relevance of this series, inconsequential. That's the word that immediately comes to mind. Why am I playing the series? It's a waste of time. I would have rather played two T20s more and probably taken a larger squad, squad of 18 maybe, and maybe a couple of T20s more actually, and tested it. And I wouldn't mind against a team like South Africa. In South Africa, I wouldn't mind playing a test match more, because there are only two
Yeah,
test matches on this
yeah,
tour. I would rather that it was a three test match series. There would have been some purpose to it. And have there have been takers in 2018 when India toured South Africa. It was a very well watched and a very well documented series. So this could have kind of been an extension of the same kind of thing. So from a 50 over format, I don't see any value to it. The teams that have been selected, the teams that have been sent, show what is on the mind. Because look at Shreyas Iyer. I think this is
yeah,
his last game because he's moving on to play the test match. I mean, prep for
yeah,
the test matches, right? So
yeah,
that shows the
yeah.
amount of seriousness that is there for those two 5-day matches to come, rather than this 50 over series. So that sums it all for me.
Absolutely. And Chetan, what's your thoughts on the series? Shini has said it bluntly that this is inconsequential. What's your thought?
It is inconsequential because I'm not sure कि ये किस direction में लेके जा रहा है in terms of ODI cricket को, because on the one hand we are saying कि ODI cricket needs changing, needs to change around, but at the same time मतलब it's partly inconsequential because अभी ये series खेलने का कोई logic नहीं है. I mean, if you consider the 27 World Cup or even the 25 Champions Trophy, so right now I don't see a lot of logic in this ODI series, but at the same time, because it's there, it's been used well by the selectors. उन्होंने T20 सीरीज को इतने अच्छे से यूज नहीं किया है जितना शायद उन्होंने ODI सीरीज को यूज किया है, because we're seeing a lot of new names, especially in the batting. We're seeing a debut also, Sai Sudarshan ka. So we're seeing a new lineup there, some new names in both batting and bowling. So from that perspective, yes, bowling may already they've played ODIs, but still they are
Yeah,
moving away from the past formula. So from that perspective, that's the only positive I'm seeing here. कि आप कुछ नए लोगों को 50 ओवर का इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट खेलने का मौका दे रहे हो.
yeah,
उस मौके का कोई फायदा है लॉन्ग टर्म में? आई डोंट नो. So from that bit, I guess it becomes inconsequential. But I think what Srini touched upon is absolutely right. कि bilateral cricket, yes, there's always a place for bilateral cricket.
yeah,
बट हमें उस फॉर्मूला से थोड़ा दूर जाना पड़ेगा, वेयर यू प्लेइंग टेस्ट, यू प्लेइंग ओडीआईज, यू प्लेइंग टी20s. और आई थिंक उसके लिए अगर हम ऑस्ट्रेलिया इंग्लैंड के जो बायलैटरल सीरीज हैं, और अब वो अगले एफटीपी में न्यूजीलैंड के साथ भी यही हो गया है कि न्यूजीलैंड, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इंग्लैंड whether India travels there only for tests, whether they come here only for tests, whether we travel there again, that's only for ODIs and T20s. उनके लंबे टूर खत्म हो गए हैं. So I think that needs to be replicated throughout, and I think bilateral cricket will have to shape shift. मतलब एक shape shifting की जरूरत है वहाँ पे to be in accordance with the times. In a way, आप एक ही टूर में तीनों फॉर्मेट नहीं खेल सकते. It's just impossible. दो फॉर्मेट because there are World Cups coming up very quickly. अगर जैसे श्रीनी ने कहा अब ये 3 ODI की जगह पे आप 4 T20 और खेल सकते थे. You could have played a 7-match T20 series. You had the time. It would have cost you the same. It would have fetched you perhaps more in terms of TV money. तो आप 2 टेस्ट मैच और 7 T20 खेल सकते थे इस सीरीज में, and that would have been great because you would have got a lot of prep time for the T20 World Cup. So yeah, bilateral cricket को shape shift करने की जरूरत है इस समय.
Yeah, and Shrini, two questions. First of all, your thoughts on the playing 11 that is on the screen, that is the Indian playing 11, which is filled with the youngsters. Other question is Shreyas Iyer. We know that he'll play only one ODI and then he'll go on to practice for the Test series. Then what's the point of him playing the one ODI? इसकी जगह अगर आप किसी youngster को बाकी दो ODI खिलाएंगे, तो might as well give him 3 ODIs. ये एक ODI खिला के then to send the player away. Does it make sense? And also, yes, as I said, your thoughts on the playing 11.
I completely agree. I completely agree. Where is the need to play Shreyas Iyer? Shreyas Iyer doesn't. I mean, what is the importance of he being here when there is a test match on? So it's like एक match अच्छा ठीक है मैं एक match का attendance लगा के I'll go away, like kind of it's more like that. And I don't know. I'm going to watch uh this series to see how we experiment our bowlers with our bowlers, and what kind of potential am I looking at. So like I for example have trust in Arshdeep. I like that guy. Like he's young, poor fellow. Like sometimes things just don't go your way. मुझे लगता है कि he's got a decent head on his shoulders. So I would want to watch, like after having come from a slight low which he experienced recently, what kind of an effort does he make to like kind of pull his socks up. Then you have Avesh, you have Mukesh, kind of Arshdeep, Avesh, and Mukesh. Let's see in this game itself, like between the three of them, 30 overs, what do they do? What kind of potential they show? I've seen much of Ritu, much of Sudarshan, much of Tilak already, like kind of for a very long time, and it's these names are just about already picking themselves. So no guesses there. So it's a good time to kind of take a look at your bowling arsenal. And going forward, the next 5 years, that's where India has some serious soul searching to do in terms of what crop of bowlers are getting ready for the this thing. Like for example, I've been saying this. Like, are we making any effort to identify what kind of a bowling depth do we go with when we go to the T20 World Cup in 2024? Or even, kind of trying to keep in mind that even the next World Cup is again in the T20 format, which is in India in 2026. And unless you have 6 to 7 bowlers who you can rotate in this format, and if you're totally in a format like this, if you're totally dependent on one bowler to kind of bowl your 4 overs, I'm coming from a T20 format, but I'll tell you why I'm saying this. You're really a prisoner to the entire thing. So you really need people who can roll their arm over, and that is a space that India is desperately missing out on at this point. There are some great batsmen who can't bowl. There are some very good talented bowlers who really can't bat. And that's why, like the Hardik Pandyas of the world become so irreplaceable. So that's where I think the important thing is for India to start identifying these young men. And I'd like to believe it should start from now. As far as the series is concerned, yeah, very true. We keep saying that much of ODI cricket and much of bilateral cricket is becoming inconsequential. I mean, that's a part of our regular discussion when we talk about the game. And I myself wrote a piece a couple of days ago where I said that the BCCI is in the middle of launching a new tournament, and should that happen, and and there are some other global developments going on, which I will speak with at another time. So if these developments go ahead, There is no place for series like this. I mean, this is just a poorly planned series which was planned some time ago. You got to like kind of go through it. What is the importance? Tell me. 7 times also, Chetan was right. Kind of, you play 70-20 kilo. But even if you were to look at it that, look at that. 70-20s, what purposes is it solving? Are you kind of picking any points heading to the final? At the end of the day, after 3 T20s, it becomes boring unless it's like a 4 team tournament, 3 team tournament. Some context to the whole series, and commercially try series and all are not viable anymore. For the so from that context, if you see, all this entire exercise is a futile one. So Shreyas playing one ODI is just one more element of futility. That's it.
Yeah, and Chetan, your thoughts on the playing level, and again, I know we bring this up, we bring this person up in almost every fifth live. Sanju Samson, World ODI World Cup हो गया है. You are again looking to probably the next champion trophy. Chalo, if you want to prepare, you will be preparing yourself for the next champion trophy, which is 2 years away. And जो recently अभी ODI World Cup हुआ है, उसमें संजू सैमसन नहीं खेले हैं. He has been in the stay for a long time now, and there's a very less chance that he'll play 2 years down the line. Then might as well replace him with a youngster which can play for years to come for India. So the curious case of Sanju Samson keeps on confusing the fans and probably Sanju Samson himself.
नहीं, संजू सैमसन को कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. अगर उनको कंफ्यूजन होता तो he would have improved his batting, he would have improved his temperament, he would have become a better batsman. वो ऐसा नहीं है. वो जैसे हैं उनको वैसे ही रहने दीजिए. I think it shows a lack of clarity from the selectors. They haven't really identified. I mean, why isn't Rinku Singh in this team? That's my question. अगर आपको finisher ही चाहिए, he's a better finisher than Sanju Samson any day. He's a better finisher in his sleep than Sanju Samson. Sanju Samson, जेमी नहीं है शो में, नहीं तो उनके स्टैटिस्टिक्स गिनाना शुरू कर देते. लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से संजू सैमसन हैज स्टैट पैडेड इन ओडीआई क्रिकेट. ठीक है, 2-3 उनको नॉट आउट इनिंग्स मिल गए, उनकी एवरेज ऊपर चली गई. सो ही लुक्स गुड इन ओडीआई क्रिकेट. ऐसा है नहीं. I think Sanju Samson at the moment is, I mean, I don't know if he changes something in the future. I don't know. Hope he does, because till now it has been a waste of time. And it is high time Indian cricket moves on to Sanju Samson. I mean, I read some of the weirdest things about Sanju Samson. Day before yesterday, I tweeted about the whole Rohit Sharma, Hardik Pandya thing, that the landscape of IPL has changed forever. Mumbai Indians have done something unimaginable. I would like Srini's thoughts on this as well. I mean, they have gone and got a captain. They have gone and bought a captain. They've identified a rule, they've used it to their advantage, and they've gone and bought a captain in the middle of the IPL cycle. It is unprecedented. They have opened up the free market of IPL, the transfer market of IPL, and it could change a few things. And the first reaction I get from people in that is, CSK and can go and get Sanju Samson as captain to replace Dhoni. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I just, it's unbelievable what people think of Sanju Samson. So yeah, I think it's been a waste of time. I don't want to waste a lot of time talking about him. I think there were a couple of other options that India could have tried, and if he doesn't perform soon enough, I think his chances will dry up. There are already people like Sai Sudarshan, Ruturaj, Tilak Verma who've come after him, and they are now far ahead of him. और ऐसे अभी 2-3 खिलाड़ी, जैसे मैंने अभी नाम गिनाया रिंकू का, ऐसे 2-3 खिलाड़ी और हैं जो उनसे बहुत जल्दी आगे निकल जाएंगे. So I think his chances will dry up very, very soon if he doesn't become a consistent player.
Yeah, and talking about Rinku Singh, yesterday in a presser, KL Rahul said that Rinku Singh might make his debut today and also play the finishing role. But surprisingly, he's not there in the first ODI. Maybe we'll see him in the upcoming ODIs. Shini, your thoughts on Rinku Singh? Do you think he has mastered the T20I format for now? He is a mainstay in the T20I format. He has showed numbers. He has given performances. Do you think that is a good opportunity to bring him into the ODI 11 too?
Listen, T20 has got nothing to do with ODIs. Okay, I mean, this is just about kind of playing the same ball. So kind of more or less, and the series is consequential. So you kind of are in the batting flow, you are in the mix of things, you are with the Indian team, you are in the dressing room. So those kind of things, very of the field, very kind of big picture things that work. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with the argument. What is Sanju doing in this squad? If KL Rahul is going to keep wickets, I don't see any space for Sanju. But then maybe it's like thinking, अरे यार T20 में तो डाल नहीं सकते, चलो कहीं तो डाल दो इसको. It's that kind of a thinking. Other than that, I don't see any reason why Sanju Samson is there in South Africa right now. But that said, T20 as a format, I've been saying this for a while, that it needs to be seen as a completely different sport altogether. It's like 100. Are you going to pursue 100 like any other form of cricket that you're playing? No, it's like literally a very weird and a very different. I mean, I'm a very by weird, I don't mean it the wrong way. Very different kind of a format for those somebody watching it for the first time. So if you look at it from that perspective, I'm saying T20, you know, take the case of Rinku Singh. Today, if you were to ask me, is Rinku Singh a certainty in the team? I'll say 100% yes. He's the first name that goes on the list. Why? Because the guy is in form. And that is where the word form is everything in this format. You can be a Sachin Tendulkar, but if you're not in form, you don't belong in a T20 format. If you're a Sachin Tendulkar going into a test series as important as Australia, doesn't matter if you're in the worst form of your life, you will be the first man to be, because you are Sachin Tendulkar, right? But if you are Sachin Tendulkar and if you are not in the best form of your life, then in a T20 game, it doesn't matter if you are Sachin Tendulkar. Or Rinku Singh will go ahead. Please understand. There is no, people tend to take offense. क्या बात कर रहे हो यार, इतना बड़ा प्लेयर है, इतना बड़ा प्लेयर is doesn't fit in the T20 model at all. Either there is no space, no appetite for ये इतना बड़ा प्लेयर है, ये इतना ग्रेट प्लेयर है, ये इतना महान प्लेयर है. नहीं. यहाँ पे in this format it's like आज आपका बल्ला चल रहा है क्या? Today are you in the kind of form that I want you to be? And if you are in the form that I want you to be, then you can be Rinku Singh and I'll pick you ahead of Sachin Tendulkar or Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli. Form is permanent here. Class is absolutely temporary. Class doesn't matter. And that is where I say T20 is not like any other format that you've seen. Even in 50 overs, kind of right through the 90s, the heavy diet of T20s,
Hmm.
sorry, ODIs, not T20s, ODI, that I grew up on, you have that time. You have a lot of time to make comebacks in the innings. In T20 there is nothing such. It's a flow, it begins, it ends, like in a flow. So from that perspective, well, I mean, whoever jiska balla chal raha hai, whoever is there, that's it. And by the way, it's a I'll say, uh, I would say the Sai Sudarshan for me, the pick of this tour and the pick of this series even is Sai Sudarshan. Give him that chance right now. He needs to kind of be there. I'm so happy that he's kind of seen this through, and I hope he makes the most of it. For me, the series is about people like Sai Sudarshan and Arshdeep and Mukesh.
Yeah, and another name along with all these name is Chetan Yuzvendra Chahal. Major tournaments where you don't pick him, you take him for bilateral ODIs, and then again you keep him on the bench. He's not even in the 11. Kuldeep is there. Yes, he's getting chances back to back, which he's also, I mean, obviously performing. That's not the case. But do you think it's tough to be Yuzvendra Chahal right now because you're not going to major tournaments and the bilateral ODIs that you are going for, you are not into the playing 11?
At this moment, it's just I think it's a very tough time for Yuzvendra Chahal. I think he is floating down the pecking order like really badly. अब क्या है कि इंडिया का एक सेट टेम्पलेट है कि आपको एक ऑलराउंडर खिलाना ही खिलाना है और उसमें आपको अक्षर पटेल दिखाई दे रहे हैं. And then you can only play. See, when you're playing in India, you can still afford to play 3 spinners. But when you're playing overseas, आपका एक spin all-rounder हो गया और एक और spinner आप खिला सकते हो, not more than that. So from that perspective, is he that foremost spinner for India at the moment? He's not. नहीं तो वो ODI World Cup नहीं खेलते घर पे. So from that perspective, yeah, I think it's a very very tough time to be Yuzvendra Chahal at the moment. Um, I don't see how he bounces back from this, to be very honest. There are not a lot of ODIs coming. T20 cricket mein he's been completely left out. I'm not sure what his future holds, to be honest. What he needs is a superb domestic season or a superb IPL season to change things around. Whether that will happen or not, that's anybody's guess. So yeah, quite a tough period for Yuzvendra Chahal, but it is what it is, and he'll have to accept it.
Yeah, and talking about the leadership, Srini, Hardik Pandya, we all know he will probably be the white ball leader going forward. But he's someone who might get injured after every 2 or 3 series. You have to take that in consideration. You need to have a good backup as a vice captain. Do you think KL Rahul is the perfect fit to lead the ODI side if Hardik Pandya is not there into the future?
Yeah, I mean, KL has done well for himself in the 50 over format. He's literally he's so shown as somebody who has a good head on the shoulders, and particularly in the 50 over format of all the three formats. If you ask me,
Yeah.
where KL fits in the best is in this format actually. Although I see great potential still. I mean, as a Test cricketer, as a red ball cricketer. But that said, let me get back to the same but a very slightly different talking point here. Captaincy in white ball cricket is again, there is this prevailing mindset that captaincy, आपको अगर white ball में if you get the captaincy, it has to be for T20 and ODIs both. It's a given thing. You can't have a different captain for T20s and for ODIs. This first came to my mind when Virat Kohli, kind of decided to step down as a T20 captain, and he thought that he was good enough to continue as ODI captain. If you remember, he had only stepped down from T20s, and people tend to think that as if I was the one who suggested that he should get down, but this was BCCI's decision. BCCI took a call, said that you cannot have two separate white ball captains. But going into the future, I think you should not be averse to something like that, because, as I said, T20. You look at the amount of T20 responsibilities that you're going to have between now and 2026. You are not playing a major ODI tournament in this during this period, except for of course the 2025 Champions Trophy. But we don't know the future of it, and kind of obviously we are. It's not happening in Pakistan, so we don't really know whether it's happening and how and stuff like that. But again, it's also a very small tournament. India doesn't play more than three matches in that tournament. So 50 over cricket more or less is going to be inconsequential until 2027, when if the World Cup is played in South Africa. That edition is scheduled in South Africa. So until then the format is pretty irrelevant. I don't see any reason why your T20 captain should bear the additional responsibility of a white ball of a 50 over format, which is inconsequential. If you are incurring any kind of a liability there, headache there, losses there, it is just going to continue playing on your mind. And instead, you have a good amount of T20 cricket scheduled by way of bilateral, by way of ICC tournaments, by way of IPL that happens. And if you're free, then Mushtaq Ali is available for you to go and play. Uh, you know, and I would suggest that it's master of one is more important than a jack of all. I look at it that way, and 50 over captaincy to be put in the same bracket as T20 captaincy, to my mind, right now, comes across as occupational hazard. I may have a different opinion later on, but at this moment, as you ask me, the more I think about it, it comes across to me as an occupational hazard. Sorry, Chetan was saying something.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, India is not even playing a home ODI in 2024.
There you go.
Not a single home ODI after the
Yeah.
World Cup. Obviously,
That's quite a statistic.
yeah, we're not even playing a home ODI for now. I mean, until they pencil something in last moment,
No,
I
they're
don't
not.
know.
No, they won't, because
As per the
it's
FTP,
very clear, and
yeah,
and
as
the
per the
calendar is
FTP.
so packed.
No,
There's
I mean
hardly any space.
home series में they might. For example, 25 May, January, February may we are playing because the Champions Trophy will be coming shortly. So if that is moved around or if they pencil a three-match series somewhere, you never know.
Yeah.
For now, as per the FTP, I've been working on a document for some other project. There is no ODI, home ODI scheduled in 2024.
Yeah, and so the match has begun. And before we end this live, one last question to Chetan. Chetan, your thoughts on the bowling, just the bowling lineup. It's a young bowling lineup. We don't have the seniors. We don't have Bumrah or the likes of Shami or Siraj in this. Also, this bowling lineup, and the case of Deepak Chahar. He has been out of because of injuries, and then now though this is because of personal emergency. So we
Yeah.
can't talk much about that, but. Do you think this takes a toll on a player like Deepak Chahar, because एक तो आप इंजरी करके इतने बाहर जाते हैं और ऊपर से जब अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलती है you unfortunately have to miss out due to these emergencies.
Look,
How
I
tough is
think
it to be Deepak
I would
Chahar?
not comment on Deepak Chahar right now. I don't know what the family emergency is, so I really would not want to comment on that. But I would just say that Chahar needs to work on his fitness and be more available. Let's just say that. एक टाइम आ जाता है जहाँ पे फिटनेस जो है ना आपका पर्सनल it is your personal problem. If you're not fit enough, you're not going to be picked. आप कितने भी अच्छे हों cricketer. So I personally thought he should have played the home World Cup. He is a bowler who gives us a lot what Bhuvneshwar Kumar used to give us. But Bhuvneshwar Kumar used to be fit a lot of the times. Off late, unke latter half of the career mein, he used to take big breaks and then return fit for big tournaments, which was not going to work. But initially, when Bhuvneshwar Kumar was available, he used to be fit a lot of the times for important tournaments. वो दीपक चहर के केस में नहीं है. So फिटनेस पे आपको खुद ही ध्यान देना होगा. You have to go back and see what is working for you, what is not working for you when you're bowling in IPL, why you getting injured again and again, all of those things. So I think Deepak Chahar को वो खुद देखना होगा. I don't want to comment on their family thing. I don't even know what it is. So I hope it sorts out for him. That's all I can say. अभी की bowling की बात करें, we are going with 5 frontline bowlers in South Africa. Where is the 6th bowler? I don't think ODI cricket में you can go without a 6th bowler. They might go to Shreyas or Tilak to bowl a few overs. I don't know. लेकिन बाकी 5 bowler पे आप नजर डालो तो that could get very very tough for India. I want to see a lot more from Arshdeep Singh. I think he's stagnating. He's not growing as a bowler. He's stagnating.
Yeah.
I want to see a lot more from him. Rest, I think it's a weak bowling lineup against South Africa at home. We don't have a 6th bowler. But you know what? This is the kind of selection, somebody like a Hardik Pandya, we've not been able to replace him. We don't have a replacement for him. We don't even have a backup for him in a way. और वो हमें वर्ल्ड कप में भी दिखाई दे गया था. So I think going forward we need to address that situation as well, because who knows when or for how long Hardik is going to be available given his physical form and physical fitness issues, etc. And now his workload is going to increase only. So yeah, it's a similar situation जो हमने T20 टीम में देखी थी. We were going with 6 bowlers in T20 cricket when you need minimum of 7 or 8 when you're playing away from home. So yeah, I think India's bowling equation is not suitable going ahead. But ठीक है, it is still a little early. We don't know what the planning is for 25 or 27. That is too far ahead. So we'll have to wait and watch.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Srini. Thank you so much, Chetan. The match is already underway, and thank you so much to all our viewers for connecting with us. Please do stay tuned to Cricket Next for the further updates. Until then, please enjoy the match and have a nice day. Thank you so much, guys.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.